Welcome back, everybody. We have Dr. Adrian Helmers joining us on the show from Phases Veterinary Hospital, and happy to have Adrian back on.
Yes,
so welcome.
Yeah, happy to be here again.
Yes, absolutely. There's so much to talk about. I feel like there's just no shortage of topics
that
we can discuss on the show with you.
Because seems endless.
Everybody, you can learn something new about your pet, or there's always pet concerns and different things like that. So today we're talking specifically, I think it's quite timely actually, as we head into the holidays, about those extra bills that some people might have. Even if your dog or your cat gets into something around the holidays, you might have to rush them in, and then you're going, oh gosh, I have more bills now to pay on top of an already expensive time of year. So this is where pet insurance comes in, I guess, right?
Absolutely.
Tell us a little bit about the importance of that.
So, like you're saying, this is already kind of a tricky time of year for many people, many families. You're having people over to the house, maybe you're traveling for Christmas, you have all these beautiful, expensive decorations up. The last thing you need on top of everything else is now a big veterinary bill. And this kind of stuff happens, right? Even to the best, most responsible pet owners. It's, your cat getting into some tinsel, your dog maybe eating some of the chocolate baked goods off the table that you've laid out for your family. So it happens so easily, and now you're faced with these big vet bills. So maybe you bring your pet to your family vet and they're wanting to do some x-rays and blood work. That's $1,000 there. Now maybe we figure out your pet needs a surgery. Maybe your cat has swallowed tinsel and it's bundled up in the guts a little bit. So now we need surgery. And these are big bills around this time of year at already a stressful time. So, we talk about pet insurance with our clients all the time, and you'll hear that from your family vets as well. Would always recommend it. Majority of vets have their own pets insured as well. I do for mine. And it takes that stress away, right? You're not having to make a decision on, I'm very tight financially right now, so maybe I'll
the X-ray
maybe I'll wait and see and try some meds for a few days and we'll see how it goes. So it takes away that aspect of the decision. You can just say, yep, do whatever you need to do. And I think pet insurance is really an important thing to consider no matter what animal you have, dog, cat. Most of the time you say it's easier to get when they're a new puppy or a new kitten. As they get older and kind of move through life, it gets a little more expensive, or maybe they have some pre-existing conditions already. So definitely, if you are getting a new puppy or kitten, look at that insurance because it really will take the stress away.
It's good advice. Absolutely. I know that you mentioned that you have pet insurance for your pets. So you have used a specific pet insurance company that seems to be sort of, I guess, the big one right now. Tell us about that.
So my personal experience, and I did a lot of research when I was looking at this as well. I'm definitely a person that likes to know pros and cons and makes my lists and all of that as well. So I did decide to go ahead with Trupanion, and I've had incredible experience with them. They have done a lot of work for my own dogs, and really for me it's looking at doing your research. What kind of coverage does the company offer? What pet do you have? Do you have a pet that maybe has some conditions already? What's the cost to you each month? What don't they cover? But a big aspect for me was actually looking at the direct billing. So Trupanion as a company, they actually bill through the hospital, so you are not out the money. And for me, a lot of the other insurance companies, you would have to pay that big bill.
That's how I thought it always worked.
So you have to pay the big bill. You're out of pocket for a few weeks, maybe even a few months if there's some back and forth. And then, suddenly you'll get a check in the mail. Whereas Trupanion, the hospitals can just bill them directly. So you are not out the money at all. It's just a direct transaction with the hospital.
That's a big pro.
That was massive for me. So I actually had to take my own dog down to the specialist in Vancouver. My little blue heeler has some spinal issues, which is upsetting, and that's out of my wheelhouse. I'm not a neurologist. So I brought her down, and I had Trupanion for her, luckily enough. Got it when she was a puppy, and I didn't need to pay anything at the time of service. They dealt with it. The hospital dealt with it.
Great.
And then, I just had my little deductibles and that kind of stuff to handle afterwards. But I could just say, do whatever you need to do. And that was it. And I got to take my dog home. So.
Oh, that's so good. Okay, so pet insurance should be top of mind. And then also talking about this time of year, I mean, you mentioned, you know, it's best to get them as a kitten or a puppy. That's when you should, they'll qualify, I guess you could say, for the pet insurance. So this is the time of year where, you know, some families like to welcome
a new family member,
a new puppy, a new member, a new kitten, whatever it might be, or cat or dog, of course. It could be older as well. And I was laughing when you mentioned put a bow on them or whatever it might
pop
be.
them under the Christmas tree for the kids to wake up to, right?
But there are some things, if you are welcoming a new member, to think about as well right off the bat. So take us through that. What would you recommend?
So I would say, honestly, for thinking about new puppy or kitten, or you're visiting one of the many shelters in the area that have many dogs and cats that are looking for homes, thinking about that insurance. And a lot of the times you can get that coverage before you even have that pet in your home as well. So doing that research, putting those kinds of plans into place so you're ready right from day one. Because we have, you know, something that we see a lot, unfortunately, is, you know, people are perhaps not as ready for the puppy or kitten as they thought, or the puppy or kitten is a little more troublesome than they thought. And then, you know, day two, they're coming in on an emergency basis because their dog ate a whole bunch of chocolate that the kids accidentally left out. And if we already have pet insurance, now you don't have a bill the second day you have your puppy as well, right? So thinking about that insurance for sure. And then lots of other things that we can start talking about and thinking about as well, bringing a new pet into the household.
Finding a family vet, right? That's a big one.
That's absolutely right. And, you know, our family vets, yes, you know, Phases has maybe taken some of the stress off of the emergency work, but they're still busy in their clinics. So sometimes there is a little bit of a wait period to be able to get that first appointment. So if we can plan ahead and you can call around to vet clinics, again, do your research, see who you're comfortable with, maybe even do a visit to the clinic ahead of time, but putting that into play before you bring that animal into your home, and maybe even having a first visit already set up for a few days after you have that pet. And then that way you can make that plan with your family vet to give them the best start moving forward.
So important. And then there is so much. There's so much to talk about.
I know.
Right?
It's like almost overwhelming, right?
Exactly. You could think about doggy daycare. You could think about all sorts of things.
Vaccines as well, doing all that planning, when to start socializing your pet as well. So regardless of whether it's a dog or cat, when is it safe to do that? You want to start doing it early, but not so early that they're not protected by their vaccines. So lots of little factors with that, and definitely important to do your research.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you being here, Adrian. As always, there's more information for Phases right there on the screen. We're back in just a moment.